Ryanair, I think, as part of the aviation sector, is uniquely placed. Our business is risk assessment. Our business is passenger confidence. Our business is safety. And I think when we get to talk about the balance between public health initiatives and returning to a functioning economy, I think those in the aviation business are well placed for that. We work in a regulated industry that is probably more regulated than the medical industry. I would also say that Ryanair, given that it is the largest airline in Europe and largest airline in the world for international passengers, that we are also uniquely placed within that sector because of our daily interactions with EASA and the various different governments throughout Europe, and I think we'll be able to give some insight to that. I do echo what Aer Lingus had said there, and I don't propose to repeat everything that they had said, except to say that this industry is in absolute crisis at the moment, and in this country in particular. And if you look at the amount of jobs that are potentially on the line here, there are 40,000 jobs directly in aviation, 100,000 spin-off jobs, and about over 335,000 jobs in tourism that are potentially affected. So we would look at what has happened here in Ireland with the outbreak of this pandemic. The government, I suppose, has handled it well at the start in terms of lockdown, in terms of how they resourced it, and in their speed of reaction. But how it has been opened up afterwards in terms of how we strike the balance between public health initiatives in stopping the spread of this disease and having a functioning economy has been a disaster, quite frankly, for aviation. And this isn't just about aviation, and as Aer Lingus have said, this isn't just about holidays. We are now heading into the shoulder season. We depend on business traffic. There's going to be 50% less traffic, certainly from this airline, and I would well imagine it's a similar figure for Aer Lingus. And we are on the periphery of Europe. This country needs a functioning aviation sector like it is the oil in the engine of this economy. And if we push it out, we're going to reap what's going to come from that in terms of structural damage to this economy, and unemployment and unemployment that will closely follow that. If we look at what happens in Ireland after the initial handling of it, the green list has been a total disaster. The idea that we would be looking at connectivity to Gibraltar and Monaco has been held up to ridicule. How the government themselves have actually complied with their own guidelines again is something that we need to get a handle on this. We need to get the recommendations that we put in. We should have the EU 27 and the UK back on the green list. It's how we manage this going forward. We are easily able to handle those risk assessments and the safety concerns. We have, if you look at what's happened in the rest of Europe, they're now open. They have complied with the European Centre for Disease Control. Dr. Michael Ryan from the World Health Organization was on yesterday on his press conference. You should look at that, where he has said closing borders is not the way to do it. We've got to get the balance right. We've got the balance wrong on this so far. What's going to happen as well is IATA say that we're not going to recover to 2019 levels in terms of traffic throughout the world until 2023 and 2024. It is going to shrink the amount of traffic in Europe in particular. And this isn't just going to bounce back. Airlines will make their decisions. And what will happen is we will lose this traffic forever. We will end up going back to where we were previously in this country with no ease of connectivity. And the recommendations that we put in today is get the UK and the EU 27 on the green list, put in place incentives so that we can, because the rest of Europe is working ahead on this. They're investing in their economies now. The rich economies, the Germans, the French and the Dutch are all putting money into their economies. We're going to get left behind.